I, 30F, met this guy, 28M, in January and he became my BF in February. Comes March, the world goes down the drain and we decided to move in together for the time of the pandemic. Everything is great. In the morning, we have this routine where he browses Reddit and gives me the highlights. A few weeks ago, he shows me a post where this guy is challenged to an arm wrestling competition by his GF. The guy didn't seem to have any sort of training/workout whereas his GF did. I commented he might have a surprise. My BF started educating me on biology and how men are stronger than women. I told him there were way too many factors to take into consideration to make such a broad comment. I have been doing weightlifting for 2 years and my BF has never seen a gym in his life, so I used us as an example. That was a big mistake. He got really defensive and condescending, and made comments like "that's cute." I just let it go. Fast forward to yesterday. He's playing some game with his friend, online, and I can clearly hear him talk about me. Well, curiosity killed the cat. At first it's all pretty and my ego is bursting, but then he says I'm delusional because I think I'm stronger than him. Pause. Seriously? I know I'm weak but not weaker than a girl. So later, I decide to call him on his BS. I asked him if he wanted to come work out with me the next day, this morning, so he can show me how strong he is. He accepted and I was happy because I had been dying to bring him and initiate him to something I'm passionate about. So, this morning, we went to my friend's, 27M, garage. My region allows groups of 10 or less and we wipe everything. I told him we're gonna do deadlifts. It's my favorite exercise and I was already planning to test my personal best, so it was perfect. My friend was there cause he corrects my form and it's been our Sunday ritual since COVID-19. We started light and slowly worked our way up, doing the same number of reps as the other. Comes 185, his form starts to crumble so we made him go lighter. But 185 really isn't that much for me, so I kept stacking the plates. He looked very supportive and impressed the whole time. I ended up beating my personal best at 265. I was ecstatic and so were they. When we got in the car, he was very silent. I assumed he was just tired. We got home and that's when he exploded and asked me if I was proud of myself. Apparently, I humiliated him in front of my friend. I apologized. I didn't realize he was feeling that way. He got angry and said it really changed the way he saw me, like I'm less of a woman now. He stormed to the basement. I started collecting my things, but now I'm wondering if I should have been reading between the lines and stopped at 190 or something. Or just dropped it and never suggested we work out together? I knew very well I was stronger than him, but I just had to prove it to him. AITA? Update: I still didn't get a word of him, but since some of you asked, I will make sure to update you when he does. Thank you for the overwhelming response. That was a bit of a roller coaster day, but it made it easier to know I'm not completely in the wrong. Caught my neighbor spraying weedicide on my lawn, in my fenced-in backyard, because she said she was sick of all the weeds and thought she was doing me a solid. 1. I like dandelions, they are good for the bees. 2. I have pet rabbits, dogs, cats, and a tortoise. I like to roam the yard and all of them eat or at least nibble and lick the grass, so it's literally poisoning my pets. So anyway, I kick her the fuck out and take all my pets inside. Now 2 of my rabbits are dead and another is in critical condition. I'll never be able to let my pets outside again to eat the grass because weedicide takes forever to go away because it can sit in the soil for who knows how long, and I'm worried that the dogs and cats might end up having a reaction too, since they also nibble the grass. Call me overprotective or overcautious, etc. I love my animals. So I'm suing her for damage to my property because it is now unusable for my animals, veterinary bills, and emotional damage due to the deaths of my 2 rabbits. I'm also trying to get the cops to pursue a case of animal abuse or at minimum criminal damage because she did basically poison my animals, but I doubt anything will come from it because I have to prove ill intent, but they are pursuing her for criminal trespass. She's a Karen. I think she deserves it for thinking she had any right to be on my property at all, and especially because it's killed my pets, and now I'd what to do about my lawn because I'm not risking another animal's life by letting them out, at least unsupervised for at least a year. However, my parents and my girlfriend think I'm being unnecessarily cruel because it was an accident and she thought she was just being a good neighbor, and that I'm making it to be a bigger deal than it is and should just ask for her to pay my vet bills. Edit, info, she has asked me about the weeds before. I don't remember it verbatim, but basically the conversation was along the lines of her, "Hey, I see you have a lot of dandelions/weeds, have you noticed that too?" Me, "Yup, I enjoy the look of a natural lawn." Her, "Something about my new car." The end. Since she has a kid that she always asks can come over to play with my rabbits, I assumed she knew they ate them if she was looking over my fence that often she'd notice the dandelions were only ever flowering in one quarter of the lawn at a time because my rabbits got cycled in a way that most of the lawn was mostly weed free while the part they couldn't get to that week would be sprouting. Edit again, thanks for the messages guys. Am taking the advice and getting a security camera and a padlock for the fence. Also, I am in fact getting a necropsy done. Edit, I have talked to her. Told her that my rabbits died after the fact and there was staining on their pen. She said it's weedicide, not pesticide, they were probably just sick. Edit, last edit, this is blowing up too much, I gotta walk away, sorry if I didn't answer your question. But my rabbits were actually outside when she did this and there was a stain on their pen. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure they got a direct spray.
I, 22F, have an older sister, 25F. My sister is very sensitive about everything. When we were young, if I made the smallest comment like I prefer pink over blue, it would make her cry because she thought I was aiming at her by saying it. My parents would always ask me to apologize to her since she's sensitive and I'm emotionally stronger than her. My parents never controlled my sister's diet growing up, letting her have what she wants since they found it too difficult to control her. I was skinny as a stick when I was a kid, so even though my family has a long history of thyroid disease, my parents didn't think there was an issue with me. However, my sister has been overweight the majority of her life, so my parents thought she'd be the one with the thyroid issues. They took us to an endocrinologist when I was 10. I got a diagnosis for Hashimoto's thyroiditis while my sister didn't, and instead got told to exercise and watch her diet. I got hypothyroidism due to Hashimoto's, and have been on medication ever since. My sister and I moved back in with our parents due to what's happening these days. I leave my medication in a cabinet near the kitchen since I know I won't take it unless I have to actually get out of bed to do so. Apparently, I left a box before I moved out of my parents' house when I was a teen and one of her friends saw it while they were over and asked if it was hers. My sister told them that it was, and that's why she was overweight. The box has Euthyrox written on it in big bold letters with a little picture of a thyroid gland next to it. So yeah, pretty obvious it was meant for a thyroid condition. She's held up this farce for almost 4 years. I only figured it out when I saw her take a box of it out of my bag one day. I confront her on it, and she starts crying and telling me that she just didn't want anyone to mean to her because she's fat. She also says that it's not fair that the one with the normal weight gets the thyroid disease. I'm just staring at her gobsmacked. She's complaining that she doesn't have an autoimmune condition? I tell her to knock it off, and that she can't lie to get sympathy from people. My parents talked to me later, and they say that I was too harsh calling her a liar and she probably needs a therapist or something, and the classic I should apologize since I'm more mature. They even tell me that they were hoping that she was the one with the thyroid issues as a child, so that they could justify her weight gain. I asked them, so you wanted your daughter to be sick instead of admitting that it's your fault because you bought her McDonald's whenever she wanted it, and never made her exercise? Now they're mad at me too.